at a time, again, at a time where we need to be protecting higher education, Colombia, with all of its resources, is deciding instead to capitulate to a fascist Trump regime that endangers students and endangers Jewish students. It scapegoats Jews and Jewish problems as the reason behind these terrible, terrible infringements on academic freedom and freedom of speech and expression. And it's alarming to me that the people with the most power, the people with the most ability to stand up to the Trump administration, are choosing instead to capitulate and to give in, while by contrast, the students that they are suspending and expelling are the students with the most to lose because they have so little. That higher education can be one of two things. It can be a place for critical inquiry, learning, and discovery, for pushing the limits of human knowledge and continuing to expand them. Or it can be an investment portfolio. But it can't be both. Because unlike the very rich and very comfortable people who are the trustees of Columbia University and the administrators of Columbia University, the students have a spine. And we're going to keep fighting, and we're not going to stop. And Columbia will continue to exist in a world where Trump is not the president. And hopefully we'll have somebody else in that position of power. We will have a mass movement that they will need to answer to. And they will learn that when you are irresponsible in the way you treat our sacred institutions of higher learning, you can no longer be responsible for those things. And the responsibility to maintain this and to protect this, once you have failed to do so, is no longer yours, and you will be replaced with someone else who will. Very plain to see. There is so much good and so much beauty at Columbia, and because of the actions of a few at the top, because of top administrators, because of trustees, it's a place that we feel ashamed of. When I tell people I go to Columbia, they wince. It doesn't matter what their politics are. This could be such a great place. And the people standing in the way are standing in the way not because they're having some form of dialogue or spirit debate where they believe this is what's best for learning, this is what's best for the students, this is best for the institution. They're doing so because in addition to being a great place of higher education, this is also a place where very rich people are parking their investments.
But what Americans are going to see is yet another major institution in this country capitulating to Trump and making deals with him instead of standing up in the face of authoritarianism. So in that respect, when we think about the responsibility of civic institutions to defend democracy and freedom, the substance of the deal almost doesn't matter. It's the mere fact of the deal that I think is troubling. It's not just that the truth doesn't matter on this campus. It's that our leaders don't see themselves as having any obligation to stand up for our students or for our faculty or for our community in the court of public opinion. You know what? The people who think that they can come in and break universities like this and then never have to see a protest for Palestine again, never have to see a kafia on a university campus again, they're wrong. Because in a free society, when you have wars, you have protests. And everyone can see now, I think in ways that they weren't paying attention to maybe a few years ago, the lengths that the state of Israel will go to immiserate Palestinians, to displace them from their homelands. And that basic, image problem, that basic isolation that the state of Israel is going to face, and what is frankly a worldwide, generational, societal shift in public opinion about the treatment of Palestinians, you can't reverse that simply by rearranging the Middle East Studies Department at Columbia University. So I hope everyone who thought that this was going to solve their problem with seeing kafias on college campus, feels better for a while. But protest as a phenomenon of a free society is not going away. And I think that protests on behalf of Palestinians are not going to go away.